fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again. What people do in no money, what people at you in no at you. Covid money miss away in the yellow correct you. Use the youth the money waste for most mantis statue. Say me like a catch you but bigger than a figure you. Take the script of money gal and say that it's not you. One day the man above end up him a got a bet. But it in the kitchen some a fly by like a patu. When singers and DJs and social media's coming at you. It burn me 300% free. It burn me garbage pile of the day. It burn me. Give the teacher them raise. It burn me. I see corruption please. It burn me. Mash down the people them house. It burn me. Every day appear arms out. It burn me. Appear money them a thief. It burn me. And them a sell out with each. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again. Come me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The urgent the promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, them rap and they down in our fever. Member bold money and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like thief when them sell. It burn me. Or they treat the market man. It burn me. Or them a treat the cat man. It burn me. Or they treat the peanut man. It burn me. Or them a treat the dirt man. It burn me. Or them a treat the sun man. It burn me. Or them a treat policeman. It burn me. Or them a treat soldier man. It burn me. Or them a treat everyone. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again.
I mean, I say a couple to the flex they represent for Wayne Global TV. So I say, you know the code, Wayne Global TV is what fully blessed on 90 days. So I say, yeah man, to the fullest. Yeah man, make sure them log in to Wayne Global TV. So I say, check it out. So I say, one cup of flex. So I say, Wayne Global. When you watch you know, feel my plan up and I try to put them on it and we head. But man, I live too long, them want Wayne Global fitted. To him juggle so smooth that them want him life for dread. I throw the bank, I like the break, but we ain't all about the bread. We open up in the ears and don't listen when we said, cause we lyrics them so smooth like the linen on the bed. Them one with a fall, chill living on the edge, I must say true, we make this them. We in Global TV, we are 90, and 90. Who Jaja bless, say no man can curse. Give me the Range Rover, uno drive years. Boom! We in Global TV, to the fullest one cup of excellence, see me?
Good afternoon from a sunny London. Good morning to you on the Eastern timeline. Thank you for joining us this morning to my community of parity and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls. Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome. How are you doing? Debbie Jarvis TV, Beat and Teach. Good morning, Elaine Turner. Natalia Freeman, good morning. Marcia Esty. EM. Sonia Johnson, Deb. Sharon Bernard, Elaine Turner, Lilith Foster, Abena Sarkodi, Christopher, Errol Brown, Ralston Henry, Audrey Robinson, Michelle Lewis Wilson, God's Gift, Agent Sajiva 5, JC, Veteran, Wagwan, Dwayne Hutchins, Ladybug, Pauline Dixon, Marcia B. Rowe, Karen Forbes, Wagwan bro, how you doing? Me it's a light come down a seaside. The Easy Jerk World, Paulette Ennis, Pamela Acola, Rose, Colleen Richards, Don Fox. Good morning, all. Good morning and welcome. We're going to just get straight into it. Delroy Henry, how you do? We know that JPS are the bad boy them in our country, though, are the new set of bad boy them. We see the breakaway between the government, the OUR, and JPS just stand up on the sideline. I watch them a chat. I go along, so. Valerie Mammy, morning. Just a chat, go along, so. And JPS now listen to nobody. JPS a bad boy in a Jamaica. And more, we see how poor Darrell become confused, but we will get to master him the confusion. But, hey, Mr. Golden, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Golden. Marky G, good morning. The King's opposition, Claudette Robinson, good morning. His Majesty's opposition, the people's opposition, the guardrail against the injustice of this government. One would have expected Marky G. Let me start by first. Marky G or Horace Strong. On the vote. Who me start by first? Quick. Who me go after first? Horace Strong or Marky G? Talk quick. Who me go after first this morning? Marky G or Horace Strong? Do we have any translator here this morning? Deb said go after Marky G first. Kevin Davis said Marky G. Sonia Johnson said Horace Strong. Deb said Sharon Bernard said Horace Strong. Karen said Horace Strong. And today I said Bailey. Who me to go after first this morning? Marky G. Your name pop up more than for anybody else in the chat. Hey, Mark Golden. The opposition who should be having a hurrah with JPS on the government adds to the treatment the people is getting. But then again, if JPS is so bad and the government afraid of JPS, poor Mark Golden and his half dozen and two crap marbles will be utterly useless in doing something about JPS. But Mark Golden is standing up to JPS. It will shock you though, Jamaica, Millicent Jones, Kevin Davis. It will shock you as to how Mark Golden is engaging in this debacle. Look on Mark Golden's Instagram page. You will see Mark Golden's response. Young E.T. World, Wagwan. You will see Mark Golden respond to what is going on in line to the whole JPS debacle. Did you not? Mark Golden did something spectacular yesterday. Sunshine. Mark Golden did something spectacular yesterday. But I won't allow you to trot over to Mark Golden's page. I will play it for you. This is Mark Golden's response to the JPS situation. Let's listen and we'll come back on the other side.
Of energy costs in Jamaica needs to be addressed. They are way too high, and they are another structural impediment to economic transformation. We have some proposals to ensure a viable and sustainable electricity system and to bring down electricity costs to consumers and businesses. We'll undertake a massive regularization support drive for electricity connections, including a subsidy to help families meet the costs of rewiring, inspection, and certification. And we will provide these families with solar panels to help them manage their energy costs going forward and build climate sustainability. We'll roll out a national energy efficiency, natural lighting, and passive cooling program, financed by local, regional, and international development banks and private risk capital. The objective here is to achieve an average 50% reduction in residential energy consumption and costs, with a very short payback of a few years. We'll prioritize achieving our renewable energy target of 33% by 2030. This government has failed to issue regular renewable energy RFPs, requests for proposals. Indeed, they've only issued one in the last 8 years. That is an indictment on their management of the economy. These RFPs generate fee income for the government, and the capital required to implement these wind, solar, hydro, and waste-to-energy projects is privately funded. We intend to issue utility-scale RFPs every 2 to 3 years to reach the renewable energy target. And Mr. Speaker, we will review the tax system affecting the energy sector to ensure that it incentivizes investments in efficiency and cost-reducing replacement and expansion of the sector, in keeping with our policy priorities to reduce Jamaica's carbon footprint.
Dashing through the snow with a one-horse open sleigh, round and round we go, clapping all the way. Oh, slap that desk, cheer your leader on. Not much said, nothing said, cheer your leader on. Oh, slap that desk, clap your hands. Yes, Jamaica. That was Mark Golden respond on his Instagram page to the current JPS debacle. He went to the budget speech and copied out what he said in his budget presentation months ago. This was Mark Golden's response. My God. Slap that desk. Slap that desk. Cheer your leader on. I hope the PNP are proud. I hope Jamaicans are proud of your opposition leader. That was what Mark Golden saw necessary. We heard it in your budget, Mark Golden. It was a well-listened to budget presentation, one that a lot of us got a oomph out of, and thought the oomph you got out of that budget presentation, Mark Golden, would have strengthened and moved forward. But look at what Mark Golden's response is to a current situation. Help us to understand, Mr. Golden, how your budget presentation respond to this situation in kind. I don't get that, Mr. Golden. I'm baffled. I am baffled as to why Mr. Golden think this is the best response that he could come up with, is to go and copy something out of the budget, his budget presentation, and present it. Of course, that's a long-term solution for when you come in government, Mark Golden. What are your views, Mr. Golden? Your views on the issue at hand? Of course, that sounds good for when you come into power, Mr. Golden. How do you respond to this issue at hand? This war between Darrell Vaz, Andrew Holness, OUR, and JPS, Mr. Golden. How does a snippet of your budget presentation as the opposition leader, who should be taking the government to task over the shoddy handling of Beryl and the whole JPS debacle, how does this, a budget promise, an election campaign promise, how does this respond to that? I'm confused, Mr. Golden. But some people think you're doing your best. If copy taking is your children's best, if rehashing is your children's best without producing ideas, you're wasting your money at school. We're talking about it. We're talking about how do we hold JPS to account now? How does JPS be taken to task now? How do we go to Parliament and pass legislation that would take back some of the power from JPS? Is what you would be expecting, Mr. Golden. What you would be calling for, Mr. Golden. But to come out here and come give us election campaign promise and budget speech promise, I don't get that. It don't make sense. We're dealing with an unfolding situation, one that is affecting Jamaicans, Mr. Golden. What is your suggestion to the government to deal with this problem? Or are you suggesting to the government that my plans and ideas, I wish that you implement them now or start taking great consideration into them? I just don't understand where you're going with this. How does copying that and posting it on your Instagram page respond? We knew what you said then. That budget was well listened to, Mr. Golden. Your presentation was much listened to than Andrew Holness's presentation. We knew what you said. Many of us watched it and rewatched it, Mr. Golden, because it was a good presentation. It was a promising presentation, Mr. Golden. How does that, though, Mr. Golden, deal with the issue at hand? If anybody passed a translator door, anything they translate, no matter what they translate, call them and tell them Global TV need help. Or if anyone in a so when you off to translate anything, nothing, none at all, run come because we need translator this morning. Translator. Call Blind Aga. Call Blind Aga. Listen, I don't know if you're watching keenly how confused this government is. They were utterly confused, out of our depth. Darrell Vaz is becoming a quacking genie right now. The more he speaks, the more you hear nothing. The Prime Minister is a flippity gibbet, is a Vogue magazine fetish. You just a spin and a twirl, so. Anything you can get in face span or anything you can get in mouth, inner. Count and minister of everything. Minister flippity gibbet. Count and this crooked criminal called Andrew Holness and the criminal gang that he leads. Call the interpreters. Call the interpreters. We need help this morning.
Unfortunate incident, and again, it raises the sensitivity of the community, given what has happened recently, and the police response is what will, in fact, give corrections to the community, and they certainly have done major work since morning. They've been apprehended and identified several of the individuals. There are two there, particularly after I think they have one out of the two. This was appeared to have an internal gang operation. In this case, although St. Catherine, they were calling over sharing of scamming money. And the individuals identified going to this big wake, which is, as many are aware now, so I can call the name. It was Chris Martin's grandmother. And when he was seen, two of the members were upset with him, went after him. The young man ran into the crowd for protection, but they kept firing at him. He was killed, and then 6 people were injured in the association. In the background, there's some unfortunate events surrounding it, of course, beside that, because Chris Martin going to a wake is going to be a big event, and the police should have been informed. I am told that they were not aware of it until the shooting came about. And I want to use the opportunity to inform the wider society. Cooperation with the police means keeping them informed, not only of breaches of law, but when you're having gatherings and activities, please inform the police. There's fear sometimes that the police may reject an application for a gathering. That is true because the police have ultimate responsibility for public safety. And at times the police have intelligence that would indicate to them that the level of policing needed to protect people at a gathering is too heavy and therefore it should not be held. That's really when the police refuse a permit. Otherwise, they will in fact take steps to deploy policemen in the area and sometimes to work with their promoters to ensure that they have adequate policing in that situation. We know that activities of this sort is a part of our culture. We have no interest, and the police have no interest in disrupting our cultural practices. So, someone like Chris Martin's statue going to a community is going to draw a crowd beside his grandmother. So please, when activities are coming up, inform the police. I said, we have no interest, I repeat, in disrupting our entertainment and cultural activities. What we want is to have them conducted safely. And the police can only assure you of that when they are aware and are made to know that the activities are coming on. So most regrettable activity, but the police is getting good information and are tracking down all the killers.
So the deceased then wasn't attending the wake, he ran to the...
Well, they were nearby, because it's a small community, so pretty much everybody in the community would be coming out for Chris Martin's grandmother's wake, especially knowing that Chris Martin was there. But he was on the periphery, and seeing the perpetrators, he of course recognized them and took off. But rather than seek to escape somewhere safe, I don't know what the structure of the place is like, he ran into the crowd. So that was really how the event unfolded.
May I have to use Delcita English this morning? Don't interpreter there. Because if not interpreter not there this morning, me can't help you. Me don't know what was said. Me not understand what was said. Me not speak in the language of which was said. So if not interpreter not there this morning, me can't help you. You understand? Uno have to go cipher and decipher for yourself. So anyone who don't know about an interpreter, uno can make we know. But Other than that, I'm not going to have to sort it out on yourself. Me can't respond to what me not understand. Me can't respond to language when me don't understand. So if uno can't work it out for yourself this morning, sad for uno. But murder, gun smuggler, stone crusher, leader, Minister of National Security, Dr. Chang, we have pull out bullet in your private practice out a gunman without reporting it to the law enforcement you policy led or lead. Who are you talking to? Hmm? Who is this murderer? This criminal? Hmm? This illegal gun smuggler? This outlawed criminal that cannot travel to the United States? This criminal who popped up in WikiLeaks over and over? These are the criminals that create the crime in Jamaica. This Minister of National Security and Deputy Prime Minister import illegal guns into Jamaica by the container. At one point in 2021, this Dr. Horace Chang disbursed a container of AK-47, 200 of it, Dr. Chang, in Flanker, Montego Bay. Load 3-coaster, disperse it across Jamaica. And you want to call Jamaica people picnic criminal, you murderer, you gun and drugs smuggler, Dr. Chang. How dare you? I don't know if you understand English. I know you're not talking. But somebody must tell you what me I say if you don't understand it. You're a murderer. You're a gun smuggler. You're a criminal. You're a thief, Horace Chang. So when you come out here, a brand people picking it, and I talk about we have misguided sympathy for criminal. The criminal we know are in our parliament. Scores and scores of you. Fraud, illicit enrichment, gun smuggling, drug smuggling, raping and murdering, stealing. Those are the crimes, Horace Chang, in our parliament, highest office in our land. The Prime Minister is a gaping criminal in our society. Yes, Fitzbailey, that one will go around, go cover up murder. Fitzbailey will organize the JDF copter for drop Dr. Moore body over Spurchie Hill and come tell we say Dr. Moore commit suicide after him dead with broke back and accident and everything. He still managed to hang himself past something. Uno criminal and uno come call poor people picnic criminal. Look at you all. The drugs boss. The drugs boss. Them say, I want to friend them. The drugs boss, them say I'm a big donor them. I want a big donors. You three criminals. We want to lead the JLP organized criminal gang in Jamaica. One come describe poor people picnic as criminal. Look at who. Look at who sowing slurs around. Look at Dr. Chang. Jamaica biggest criminal. Jamaica biggest illegal gun smuggler. The Minister of National Security and Deputy Prime Minister that led a ruthless gang in Montego Bay. This doctor who him and Andrew Holness unleashed a death squad across the country to shoot up mass gathering. This same criminal want come out here, come call poor people picnic criminal. Start in a parliament first. Start in a parliament first. This is the worst of our criminals in our society. Because the youth them will bust the gun. If one never buy it, give them. If one never continue, supply them with ammunition. Them could not walk and bust gun and kill off people. Jamaica crime is Jamaica politician and business community. Poor people picking in the inner city and across rural Jamaica where the crime extend to is a victim of politician and the business community where use crime to keep with this place and in our place. These same criminals want to come out every day, come brand we as criminals and tell us that we have sympathy for criminals. Then guns should be turned at Babsy. It should be turned at Horace Chang. It should be turned at Andrew Holness. That's how if a sudden criminal gangs are to be treated. I mean, guns ought to be turned at a lot of you in the parliament. Because that is what you all are asking to be done to poor people, children across Jamaica. Turn guns at them. Kill them and say when them have shootout. You've all done it before. We've seen you all done it on camera. You know it's a long time history food. No? When you walk with an illegal gun, when you shut out one out of it, then you kill and put in our hand and say it was a shootout. It's a common practice for the Jamaica Constabulary Force. But now them have two ruthless and deadly leaders who have unleashed them on the country, who is using them as a death squad across the country. Uno, I call people picnic criminal. The criminals were Uno create. The criminals were Uno breed. The criminals were Uno fund. The criminals were aligned to Uno politician. The criminals were the guns them were coming at the country aligned to the politician them. All on a wicked church, you know how much a barrel of gun clear under phone address? Uno criminal churches, uno criminal prophetess and ministries where barrels of guns are clear under an organization. People who don't understand how deep the church is involved in the gun smuggling ring as well. That is something that we don't explore and talk about much. But the very wicked church them, in the gun smuggling, where they receive barrels packed with gun under the disguise of charity. Under the disguise of charity. But at the same church people them come out on road where they, particularly the drag queen minister, pastor, the cross-dressing pastor, Al Miller. And them come out where they call for hang poor people picnic. Al Miller we just up us in a frack, makeup, lipstick, heels, baggy and bra. For evade justice. The same Almila come out and a call for hang poor people picnic. How much of Dodos gun smuggling and drug smuggling Al Miller was involved in and helped to protect? If I'm protect him for evade justice. Whether it be the church or politician, we're all surrounded by criminals. Criminals with their guns pointed at us. Criminal like Andrew Holness, the pickpocket. Every time you see we are rolling, lift up, we shot, and going our pocket, go take out our wallet. Yes, that thief, Andrew Holness. If you notice the other day, Andrew Holness used over 200 police and soldiers to go up a quick step, go thief high-end mahogany for Juliet Holness $800 million apartment to have high-end finishings. When I stay there, and I come call poor people picnic, criminal. When Alligator Pan police station don't have a working vehicle, but Andrew send over 50 odd vehicle into a compound, into quick step, figure thief. And then when you come out, come call people picnic criminal, you all should be shocked. Because that is what you are all calling for people, young people, poor people, children. This is what you have unleashed across the country and poor people, children. This prime minister should be shot as well because he's a criminal. He's a gangster. And if you have unleashed wrath on gangs across the country, those of you in parliament ought to be shot as well. The guns ought to be turned at you. The same guns you're turning at poor people, children on the street ought to be turned at you all. Don't you think the time has come? Wake up, Jamaica. Wake up. You're surrounded by criminals pointing their guns at you. Wake up. You are surrounded by criminals pointing their guns at you. Meet your judge or your maker. It should apply to the criminals in our parliament too. Why meet your judge or your maker should only apply to poor people's children? The prime minister ought to be shot for saying that, because the prime minister is calling for mass shooting across the country by his law enforcement men. Why isn't it that if that is good for the goose, it should also be good for the gander as well? Why shouldn't the prime minister be hanged, as Al Miller is asking for poor people, children to be hanged? Why shouldn't Harry Strong be hanged if Bobby Montague, a parliamentarian, is calling for our teenagers to be hanged? Because we live in many different Jamaica. This is where the problem lies. We don't have a one Jamaica. It don't exist. We may have a one Jamaica Legal Defense Fund in shambles, but we don't have a one Jamaica. We have several different Jamaica. Jamaica for this, Jamaica for that, Jamaica for them, Jamaica for those, and Jamaica for those over there. Many different Jamaica. That's why the law in Jamaica apply differently. You remember Kevin Simmons couldn't be charged in Montego Bay. They have to transfer him to Kingston to be charged. But while transporting him to Kingston, they've done the Diana with that white van. Or you remember the Diana situation with the white Fiat Punto in the Paris Tunnel. They've done a Diana and Kevin Simmons. Montego Bay law wasn't strong enough to charge someone who may have had a lot of secret on the government. Montego Bay law never strong enough to charge someone that the government possible don't want to get on the witness stand and start speaking. Let's do the Diana. Uno criminal. Uno come out a call poor people picnic criminal. How did Horace Chang get on the bloody scene of Kevin Smith's massacre so quick? You blood sacrifice mongers. You blood sacrifice mongers. Remember the second time now we not carry out a mass blood sacrifice in Clarendon? I wonder if it have anything to do with the jailing of the gold. And by the way, Prime Minister, I hear Desmond Mackenzie, the dead man Mackenzie, telling us that we should prepare for more earthquake and things like that. The question though, Prime Minister, is it that we're having earthquake, or is it there fracking and deeper drilling going on to really test what has been found in our Calibre zone, that how much billion barrels of oil you are not talking about? Are we having earthquake, or is it blasting, fracking, and drilling to validate what has been found in the Calibre zone? All of a sudden, earthquake just a boom back, badadam, that so. Prime Minister. Oh, no, talk about the oil, the gold, or the copper. Oh, it's in a secret. So. Kevin Davis, you may be misguided. Look at Nigeria. Look at Niger. Look at Burkina Faso. Look at Mali. Look at Ghana. All these countries are resources rich. We could find the resources that the world have together in Jamaica, Kevin Davis. With these crooked Western aligned bend over for Bill Gates and the deep state politicians, we have nothing to gain. Look at Nigeria. Have you seen the debacle of the Niger Delta? Have you seen the debacle that Shell has cost in Nigeria? Have you seen the people of Nigeria demonstrating just the other day for hunger and high cost of living? Why do you think, Kevin Davis, any different would apply to a resource-rich Jamaica? Look at resource-rich Africa and the political Western bendovers that we have. The resource only matter when we have leader like Abraham Ture. Bendovers like these is only our Western enemies or slave masters that are going to inherit the wealth, coupled with the Jamaican bourgeoisie class. We nah go get nothing. So careful, wanna wish for things to become oil, gold, and copper. Find a Jamaica, it a go solve the problem. With problem, I go get Wassara Kevin Wright. A Kevin Wright or Davis, I think a Kevin Wright said, think it a go better now that we have oil and JPS. I go up on a back seat. No, it a go get Wassara. Unless we have a leader that have the people's interests at heart. Barring that, prepare for Wassara. Just look at the resource-rich countries on the continent of Africa and see if Jamaica will be an exception being resource-rich. Wanna prepare for Wassara. And now the land grab war I go start. Hmm? Prepare for wassa ra. Or if you don't want to add rara to it, that's what you prepare for. Because where there's rich resources, the grab for land, the war for land ensue. Hence, you'll have civil war that will displace people, or you have mass created disaster to displace people, or whatever. We see how this is done across Africa and the Middle East when it comes to do with resource rich land. Them always have something mass to displace the people from that rich resource land where them want to do them drilling. And Jamaica people wanna prepare for bangarang, land war. Them are go push on off of the fertile land them where they do them geomapping survey and see the rich resources wanna sit down pan. Those are the lands they're coming for. So the time on they are bugo and baga, prepare on yourself. You see this demonic forces what them unleash and on for this trap on. Pay. This is what on need to pay attention to. What is coming? The land war that is coming over resources. The war to ensue between the Chinese, the Russian, and the American over who have better influence in a Jamaica and benefit more from the resources. War is coming to Jamaica. Prepare on yourself. Stop, sit down and waste time. Problem is coming. War over land is coming. Them say wealth in our soil and them want dig it out. And if they have to move us off of that soil by force or by fire, extract those wealth, they will do it. Look at how they have damaged our rivers and our waterways in the name of fucking our wealth out of our soil. What do we get out of bauxite? You know the amount of rich minerals in a bauxite where them are used, the American and the Chinese are fight over because at them are the best for producing the whole of these electronic things, all of these B-52 bombers and these things where you see them are used as space and them something that yes, and we are one of the biggest providers of war material for modern days. Them hope a fancy fair where you see them a fly in the air. Jamaica produce that. Yes. So Jamaica is strategic to the geopolitical warfare between the East and the West. Jamaica has a resources which is important to their warfare. Whoever owns that resources is ahead in the warfare. There's a massive Cold War turning up between the Chinese and the Americans where walk past everybody eye. Keep on yourself informed and alert. And don't make bangarang break out and surprise you know. All right? But tell Mark Golden we say, shape up yourself. The country is in danger. Shape up yourself. The country is in danger. Respond to the issues at hand and stop playing dally house with the people. Clipping something out of your budget as a post on your page as a response to the JPS argument is just not good enough. Shape up yourself. Anyway, me done because me not even bother with that Vaz and JPS, to be honest with you, because the whole I don't know say by now a JPS one run things. So therefore, nothing you say about how confused JPS have him. It just shows the lack of management of our country at the moment. Mr. Wayne, please have a program on all this. Please let me learn more about geopolitics. Okay, I will try to organize something on that. But people don't understand how strategic Jamaica is in this warfare between the West and the Chinese and the Russians, because Jamaica is strategic in a lot of sense. And what make it even worse now, them slow down the talk one day, but America was going to send nuclear missile to Germany. And Russia said them would do likewise. That would suggest they would send nuclear to probably Venezuela and Cuba. And that would spark a big nuclear crisis in a modern day, like the Cuban Missile Crisis back then. But wholly a rumble in the private. That's why the demons were yesterday and let out a prison were there. On a God on a mindset that was sent to distract Wagwan or Lata Wagwan is to distract on for them get away in doing a lot of things while you all are distracted with nonsense. Keep focus. Hell is coming to Jamaica. You see this oil find, don't take it lightly. And don't rejoice over it neither. Start to organize yourself as community. Start to build back your community spirit, because infiltration will be a part of it, where they start turning community against each other and them start making one side of community fight against each other. You find people who start bun down, people start, and there's a lot that you ought to prepare for. If oil is found, prepare on yourself. Trust me. Just look at the history of Africa, where resource is found, and see how an ethnic cleansing of the people is being done in order to get space to dig out them resources. And it's painful to see how Jamaicans are distracted with so much going on. If Jamaicans were as clued up as Kenyans and Nigerians and so on, this government would be meeting hell. This government can get away though, because Jamaicans love to celebrate demons. That's our problem. Anyway, thank you for that this morning. Thank you all for being here this morning. We really appreciate your support from time to time. May have some admin work to take care of today. Pirates, land grabber, exploiters. Show Marshall Litchmore. That is so true. Trust me, that is so true. And that's why I tell Jamaicans, prepare on yourself. Prepare on yourself for what's to come. Because just look at the history of Africa and all those rich resource countries of Africa. They have been decimated by these thieves and murderers who suck everything out of your country, use your people, and get nothing. You and the people and your country get nothing out of it. And your politicians, your crooked politicians, the little that the country get out of it, they swindle it into them and them friends and them family pocket. And what do? They take the same the money with them thieves from the people them and go bank overseas with the same white Western counterpart where them a thief your resources get, and then them thief back the money from you and go bank it with them. This is why you see the whole of them have to creep under these Western leaders, because the moment them step out of line, their bank account and their asset are frozen in the West. So you see, say everything for we leader them a do is all about building up our slave masters. All of what they're doing is building up the slave master. That's all they're doing. None of them come there with any interest for the people. Why you think Jamaica fine? Look how long Jamaica have bauxite and the different element in bauxite where them using at the war industry. These elements are more expensive than oil and gold. And Jamaica is not making any money out of it. Jamaica bauxite is sold for about 100 and odd less than other bauxite producers in the Caribbean or in the region. So if we not make nothing out of bauxite, we're not going to make nothing out of gas. We're not going to make nothing out of oil. We're not going to make nothing out of gold nor copper. Look how long them a drill copper in a Clarendon and gold, and the government has never come out and talk about it. If you don't watch foreign media, you don't know that these things are happening in Jamaica. Because our media is silent and have sold out to the government. Them don't investigate, them don't talk about nothing anymore. Them like the government are silenced. Them like the government keep pulling a wool over your eyes. And this is going to meet up in a civil war without understanding what is going on. And that's what happen, you know. We're not going to end up in a civil war and you don't understand what the hell is going on around you. Because we never monitor what's going on. And people will talk about what's going on and I find that boring because it's not sus and mix up. Why me particular worried? My community and my parish right in line of the danger. The Caliber zone sits right in front of us. Walton Bank, which when you look at the graphics is where that major part of the Islewood phone sits right in front of us. And White House. Them now go after White House. We have big old private sector member of the 21 family Sandals. Oh no, they would not. The residential coastline, which we live on, that is a greater risk. And even my community where me I want, them don't seem to understand what is coming either. We're not paying attention enough, Jamaica. We are not paying attention to the right things or the beneficial things. We're just not doing that. And it will cost us to end up in a predicament where it will shock us. You see the history of how people get displaced across Africa in those resource-rich environments. How civil war is being sponsored in those. Look at Congo. One of Africa's most resource-rich country. Look at Congo. iPhone in Jamaica is just going to destroy Jamaica. Trust me. Them just going to destroy Jamaica more. The coastline are going to destroy more. The fishing industry are going to destroy more. And they're going to do everything to displace people to have access to more lands. I'm not joyful of this. With the corrupt fleet of leaders that we have, I'm not joyful of it. But me gone, me have things to go do. And not stop me cause Friday and sun out a door. Not stop me today. That me I tell you no. Not stop me from enjoying the weather today. Anyway, my people, thank you all for being here. Maybe sooner or later. And make sure you keep on mind fed with positive information that can keep awaken and enlighten you and those around you. Thank you very much. Good morning and good afternoon from the Global Television Group.